Give yourself a break, man, when it comes to your retirement planning. Give yourself a break. Don't be so hard on yourself. I'm working with a guy yesterday, nice guy, just salt the earth, grew up just a regular guy, you know what I'm saying? Not all that hip on financial matters, but and he was almost embarrassed at what he's talking to me because he felt like he should have been better off. He's 51, he's married, wife roughly his same age. And I don't want to go into too much detail with him, but let's just say he's been working for the federal government for basically for a long time. All right, so he's going to have a pension from the federal government. He's going to have federal employee health benefits, and he said he made a bad investment in some real estate, 15 years ago, and that really, he said that really set him back, and not sure he has recovered essentially. And again, he almost seemed embarrassed because the people he works with, the people he knows, say, you should have been doing this, you should have been doing that, blah blah blah. And he's like, I just don't know that much about this stuff, so I just feel like I'm not doing well. And I'm kind of putting words in his mouth, but I could just hear in his tone of voice like he felt embarrassed. His wife was not on the horn, which is always problematic. I always like to get the second side of the story. But anyway, so we get to talking. I said, okay, well, you're gonna have a pension, which is pretty good. You're gonna have federal employee health benefits, which is real good. So we know your health benefit, your health insurance can be a whole lot less expensive than us regular people. Federal employees pay into Social Security. So between you and your wife, you're both going to have decent Social Security. I'm sitting there thinking, all right, basically once you hit 67 with your pension, you're going to have, no. You're going to have $100,000 a year in guaranteed income with health insurance expenses for Medicare, less than the average Joe. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, he was my age, 51, like I said, his wife's roughly the same age. I'm like, all right, so what's going on? So I'm looking, he's got a $400,000 home. He owes $300,000 on it. All right, he's got a car loan. And I said, okay, so we're going through this. I'm like, all right, well, I think he had a car loan. I can't remember. Or he'll need a car loan. I forget. Yeah, I think he'll need a car loan. That's what it is. All right, he's got some kids. And I said, okay, nothing jumps out of me extraordinary iffy here. We haven't talked about investments. So I asked him about his wife's 401k. For some reason, she's not doing anything into it. I don't understand that. I was like, not even match, and he said no. And I said, okay, so what's your expenses? And he goes, yeah, man, I don't really know. I said, so his homework assignment was to find out his expenses. We can't really do much if we don't know his expenses. I said, what's your pension? And he goes, I'm not really sure. I said, okay, so that's your homework assignment. So we got to find this information out because we're handcuffed and we didn't know your expenses and your pension. And he understood that. But then he's like, yeah, it just doesn't feel like we have a lot of disposable income. Like we're spending all the money coming in is going out the door. I'm like, okay, well, let's see what else we got. So I said, how much, what's your TSP? He goes, well, it's about $1 million. And I was like, so dude, you're 51 years old. You got TSP and $1 million. He goes, yeah, everyone else is saying I should have been a lot better if I would have done this, more aggressive. I would have done that. I said, of course they said. They all say that. They never say they got smoked. They always say how good they're doing. I'm just telling you, man. I trust me on that. A lot of men like to freaking, I'm doing so good, but they'll never tell you how bad they do. And if they do badly, they'll blame, the Wall Street bankers and stuff, if you know what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, whatever. So, dude, you're 51 years old. You have minimal debt. The only debt you really have is your house. You have equity in your house on top of this. So your house has, you're not upside down, which means you have more debt than the value. That's not the case by any stretch of the imagination. He's got 75% loan to value. That's still better than 90% LTV. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, you got a pension, you got Social Security for you got Social Security for your wife. I don't know why your wife's not contributing, but be it as it may. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so how are you invested in the TSP? And I think he just all in the G fund, it sounds like. And I said, okay, well, the G fund hasn't done great the last 10 years, but you got $1 million and you're 51 years old, man. Come on. Give yourself a break. And look, I know a lot of you guys don't have pensions. I know a lot of you guys don't have $1 million. And a lot of guys that are going to be saying, must be nice. But I'm just saying, look, it's endemic to most people about their retirement. They're like, I'm not doing enough. So I said, well, how much you got coming in after paycheck? He goes, I don't know. My wife keeps a pretty good spreadsheet. I said, well, we need to talk to your wife, man. We got to see what's going on here. Because again, until we know expenses, we're screwed. But All right, at the end of and I'm showing him the right capital, just basically and I'm going to do another video on this here when it comes to how much more you spend in working than you think you do. So that way, so I need 80% my pre-retirement salary. It's just stupid. But anyway, I'm sitting there thinking, what has happened in this society that says a 51-year-old guy has got $1 million and he still owns 100,000 equity in his home. All right, he has a mortgage on it, I grant you, but the mortgage at $300,000, that's $1,500 a month, throwing property taxes and home insurance. We're talking about $2,000 a month. Well, I guarantee his pension alone will cover that. I'm just sitting there thinking, why are we scaring people so? Well, these are not the vast majority. See, that's what I'm saying. Forget what the average is. What are you? That's what matters. Well, the average person, look, man, the average, do you not know when it comes to income, the average person, if you look at the actual dollars they have in their expenditures for outflow, is even way better than what the data are showing, because transfer payments don't show up as income. So if you have, and this guy doesn't, but if you have Section 8 housing and you have welfare of any sort, that does not, and Medicaid. So all these poor people down in South Fulton County, Georgia, all right, that are on these transfer payments, that's not showing up. Section 8 housing, Medicaid, and other transfer payments, welfare benefits, AFDC and all that, is not showing up in the median income or the average, however you want to look at it. Those don't show up. So when they sit there and they say the average person is doomed, we're like, they're not doomed, because the facts are the bulk of a lot of the poor people who draw the averages down aren't showing up the entirety of their income. They're just not, man. So we hear all these stories. The average person is doomed. I tell you, like, yeah, I guess I'm doomed because the average person is doomed. I feel like I don't have a lot of cash flow. And I'm like, I do this other video with your right capital. I'm just sitting there thinking, stop. For the love of good Lord, stop looking at the averages. It has nothing to do with you. Please. So hang tight. I'm going to do this video for Right Capital. I'm going to show you what it looks like. The actual take-home pay with a couple making pretty good money relative to what you think it is. All right, hang tight. Love to hear your comments.